Well, I know it's on the car sanctuary. All the recent videos have been about bikes, nothing at all about cars, and there are a few reasons for this, which I won't go into here, but the main reason is I've not been using them much, living only 3 minutes walk away from work, and they've only been used for very long distances. But it's a situation I decided to remedy. I'm not well at the moment because of this bloody coronavirus that had floored me, so I'm just about starting to come out of that, but I'm still not right. It's a nice day, so I've been confined to quarters and I wanted some fresh air. I thought, what better opportunity to make a start on my standard Vanguard, which I am now in. So I'm going to start it up today. It's not been moved for 10 months. I've freed the brakes off. A couple of the brakes were dragging. It will need a thorough overhaul before it goes back on the road, including new sills, inner and outer. It's a minimum. As you can see, it's very much a project, but the seats are original, which is nice. And they were quite, a smart looking car in the day. They still are smart looking cars. There was certainly nothing else like them on the road. This is a Phase 3 from 1957, one of my favourites. Well, I never liked the Phase 1 or 2. Phase 3, of course, which this is, had a major restyle and was no longer separate chassis. At least, I don't think it was. I'll confirm that in a moment. But mechanically, they were still the same as the old ones, using the tried and tested 2.1 litre 2088cc to be exact. Standard engine, which was a very, very good engine. Wet liner 4-cylinder. Very rugged, very tough. Saw service in the standard Vanguard, Triumph, Renown, TR sports cars, and also a slightly different version in the Ferguson tractor. So they were an extremely good engine, tough, durable, rugged, and about 68 brake horsepower, which is pretty lively. This one has the 3-speed gearbox, and I mean the gear change really is nice on this. It's sort of like a roller lever type, standard 3-speed, or if you're American or Canadian, 3 on the tree. Very nice gear change, that lovely action, easy to use, and as you can see, pendant pedals, organ type accelerator pedal for maximum comfort. And for the time when these were introduced, 1955, there were a number of advanced features unique to this car. It does boast such refinements as a grease nipple on the gear linkage under the bonnet. It was probably the first car in the world with an electric screen washer as standard. That's the button for the Lucas electric screen jet. They all came with them from the factory, which at the time was quite a feature, as most cars, even if they did have a screen washer factory fitted, it was usually the manual plunger type. You've got the standard Triumph badge there, red and black. They were made in Canley in Coventry. Still got the indicator switch on the steering wheel boss. It does have overdrive, which is a nice, useful feature. Pretty well equipped, full complement of instruments there, all the essentials. And it does have a sizable fuel tank, about 12 gallons I think, which is very a convenient size for long haul journeys. Nice crescent shaped speedometer, very deeply hooded, which lights up green. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, probably not. Oh yeah, you can, just about. It lights up a nice sort of atomic era green, which at night is very, very effective. Again, green, unusual, because most cars were just plain bulbs with no filter, no colour filter on them. It does have a rheostat to switch off or dim the panel lights, which I make good use of, because on dark roads at night in the country I like to be in darkness in the car. That's another reason I can't stand modern cars, because you've got umpteen screens glaring at you and it's hard to see. I find it a great distraction. One thing we do not have is a clock, which is quite unusual for a car of this class. These were not cheap cars. However, we do have some very conveniently handy sized sun visors with a vanity mirror on the passenger side. They swivel out, and a good handy size, and that's about it. Choke, I think it's a single speed wiper. Pull handbrake there, which is largely ineffective at the moment. As I say, I freed the brakes off because they were all dragging. We've got door pockets there for papers, maps, etc. A glove box which needs the key to open, so use the boot key for security, which means you could give a valet the ignition key and door key, but you could retain the boot key, which means your luggage and gloves would be safe, and that needs a thorough clean out. Quite an odd size as well, an odd shape. So let's get down to business. As I say, this hasn't been started for about 10 months. Push button door locks, that's a nice feature. It tells you which way to turn to lock it. Look at those rear lights. Very uniquely styled, with this large central tongue. That's nice how the side lights and indicators are third into the end. It should open from the inside through a bonnet pull, but that's gone. I don't know where, so I'll have to replace that. Right, get the safety catch open. Just bear with me. There we go. The heater's come adrift, the blower motor, since I was last in here. That's fallen down. Everything's quite accessible. for servicing. Distributor, fuel pump is down there with a manual hand priming lever and glass float ball just down there on the side of it. So I have given that a few pumps just to get petrol up to the carburetor. Put a gallon of fresh petrol in the tank. Dipstick easy to get at. Yes, we have oil. As I say, these are damn good engines. As you can see, there's no oil leakage or anything from it, from the top. Proper solid lump of cast iron, just how I like them. Dynamo, easy to get at. Starter motor's buried down there. This is the gear change mechanism with the grease nipple I mentioned earlier. Clutch and brake fluid, both hydraulic. Easy to get at again. All the electrical gear and PVC covered wiring. Not the old cloth type. The radiator is quite remarkable for its design and layout because it's on its side, which is quite a modern well, I've always considered it to be quite a modern layout really, with the filler cap again up here. Very easy to service and inspect and top up. Carburetor, which is a Solex. The choke I think does stick on, so I need to, well, I do need to see to that. That wedge shaped thing there is a exhaust gas valve to deflect the hot gases up to the carburetor when you're starting up from cold. It then operates on a bimetallic strip. When it warms up, it diverts the gases all the way out of the exhaust. That prevents carburetor icing. There's the screen jet. So now we're ready to start the standard. As I say, I've primed the carburetor with the fuel pump. That just saves the battery from churning over, pumping fuel up. I've not done anything to the distributor except take the cover off and have a look, clean it. So look at the size of that fan belt, that's a proper job. 4-bladed fan. So I'll give it a go. Would help if I use the right key. We've got, hang on. So that's another thing, overdrive. You heard it clicking there. Well, that's first gear. It stopped, that's good. It shouldn't operate on first or reverse for obvious reasons, certainly not reverse. So that would cause catastrophic damage if you run it in overdrive reverse. It's meant to only operate in second and top. Anyway, that's another job. Should be off now. So we've got ignition. She'll pull out the choke, give it a pump. Let's see what happens. Check out neutral. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's dead. Oh. Balls. Where's it gone? No, it looks alright. Yeah, that's not blown. Although I thought it had done with that burn mark. What about t'other one? No, that's okay as well. May just be a battery connection. As I say, this hasn't been fired up in nearly a year. So I suppose the odd trouble is to be expected. I've not tightened these down. Let's try again. That's better. It's going. It's I could hear it, a slight cough. Give it a squirt, I think. I don't want to pump too much because I can end up flooding it. I can smell petrol. Well, time's nearly up on this video. Oh yes, we've got plenty of petrol, look. So this is ignition related. You'll have to wait for part 2.